Good afternoon, everyone. Jonathan Davis here with Davis Autosports. Excited to offer you guys a absolutely gorgeous 2005 Jeep Wrangler TJ. This Jeep has 111,000 original and documented miles. We got this Jeep in completely bone stock, all original and absolutely beautiful condition. Carfax certified, clean and clear title, in hand, in-house, ready to sign over. Now, we did a ton of work, both mechanically, cosmetically, and upgrades to this Jeep. We'll go ahead and do a quick walk around to give you an overall view of the Jeep. We are shooting this in 4K, so if you have the ability to watch it in 4K, please do so. As we walk around, everything on this exterior is new. We'll get into more of that here shortly. This Jeep was all stock its entire life. Just a two-owner Jeep. Came into us in beautiful condition. So as noted earlier, everything on the exterior is new. We'll get into the paint and some other items. So first starting off with the paint, we did our full paint correction service on the entire Jeep. If you're unfamiliar with that, I'll just give you a quick recap of what we would do on this panel, but we did this on every panel that has paint on it. Essentially, we wash the Jeep, we clay bar the Jeep to get all the contaminants off of the top surface. From there, we really evaluate each panel individually according to the thickness of the paint, millimeter wise, if there's any light scratches versus deeper scratches, and from there we use different sandpapers according to that panel and any sort of wear and tear on it. But essentially, in a nutshell, we sand the entire panel down with a high grit sandpaper. So starting off with about a 2,000 grit sandpaper, and that's done with water as well, called wet sanding. We then go over that with a 3,000 grit, which sort of polishes that 2,000 grit. You're then left with a dull coat of clear coat, because essentially with the wet sanding, you're taking off a very thin layer of the top coat of clear coat. So when you sand it, what's left is dull clear coat. So with multiple steps, we get it back to what you're looking at. That's done step one with a wool pad, with a high-speed buffer, with a very gritty compound, which gets that dullness to come back to life a little bit. From there, and that gets done to every nook and panel with big buffers for flat areas, small 2-inch buffers for certain areas, orbitals, a medley of machinery, if you will. The second step, because that compound, although it brings the clear coat back to life a little bit, not what you see here. So then we change the pad application, and then instead of the compound, which is gritty, we go with a stage 1 polish. And that really gets the clear coat to come back to life. But you'll still have hazing and circling from the motion of the buffers from there. So we actually changed to a even softer pad with what's a 3M uses an ultra polish. So we use that, and that really gets it back to life. But that's a lot of work. It's very tedious. It takes 2 of my reconditioning specialists about 3 to 4 days on a Jeep like this. Not to mention all the panels that have to come off, fender flare, stuff like that, so compound doesn't get on items. We have to mask things off, because by sanding it, sand could hit this, so it's very, very tedious. It's not something that can quickly get done, and from there we seal the paint. So one of the reasons this paint looks so amazing is our paint correction service, but also the previous owner did take great care of this. So paint correction can only go so far. If the base condition isn't there, then your end result's not going to be like this. Secondly, we didn't stop there. We did our full Kevlar package on all the fender flares, so the flares get removed off, prepped down completely, sanded, and then applied our Kevlar package all the way throughout. That's done on the rear fender flares obviously as well. We didn't stop there. Anything that was black on these Jeeps has a tendency to sort of lose its richness and fades over time. So even the license plate bracket, we remove that, sand that down, and refinish it. And of course, we don't reuse the factory hardware. That's all grade 10 hardware. Door handles also get refinished. So everything on the exterior, as far as the paint and body goes, it's absolutely as new as you're going to get. Bumpers, all brand new as well. Front bumper, rear bumper, side steps, those are all new. We also installed a brand new soft top. So like I said, literally between the paint correction, the Kevlar, the bumpers, the side steps, top, all brand new. Wheels and tires are brand new as well. That's a 285 75 16 on our DAS Moab wheels. Lug nuts are even new. We also refinished, like I said, anything in black gets completely refinished to look brand new. Gorgeous, gorgeous Jeep. So this also has our full 2.5-inch suspension and steering package. We don't just install the basics. This has every single component you can possibly get, down to bushing. So in addition to, of course, the obvious shocks and coils, that's where most lifts stop. That's where ours sort of will begin. Up front, I'm going to put this on a wide view. So up front here, center frame is a upgraded tie rod bar, much thicker than a factory one. The ends are also upgraded and new. This drag link bar right there is also brand new. Behind that drag link bar, center frame going at an angle, is a track bar that's also brand new, fully adjustable as well. Brand new steering stabilizer, brand new sway bar end links, coils and shocks, of course. Ball joints were installed. Everything has been fully greased, and brand new calipers, rotors, and pads on each side, and full brake flush as well. If you notice, every piece of hardware is brand new. Not only brand new, but you'll note every hardware is marked with a pin. Tech 1 builds the Jeep. Tech 2 then goes over every nut and bolt and retorques it and marks it. So you'll see a white marker pin on every single one. That shows that our second technician went over every nut and bolt. We don't stop with just installing parts. We like our undercarriages to look as new as possible. So if you notice, this front differential and axle housing looks absolutely beautiful, smooth metal. We drop the axles from the Jeep. We just don't lower them and install coils and shocks and done with it. So axles drop down, put them on stands, get media blasted, and then axle undercarriage paint to give it a nice finish, and also hopefully look good years down the road. And every end joint that we use, as you see, tie rod ends, everything, we use the upgraded, fully serviceable ones that are greasable. While we're down here as well, part of our servicing on this Jeep was a brand new rear main seal and oil pan gasket. We don't reuse the factory oil pan, so it's got a brand new oil pan as well. Obviously, as you see, the blue gasket, and once again, all new bolts all the way around. We do not reuse any factory hardware on our Jeeps. That treatment that I just went over carries through the whole undercarriage of this entire Jeep. Center frame, underneath the exhaust down there, is the belly pan, and above that, as you see that cube, it has a transfer case drop down. Usually that's not recommended or required. Well, I should say it's not required for a 2.5-inch lift, mostly for 3.5 to 4. We do use that on a 2.5-inch, which is an upgrade. It just gets the angles of the transfer case and drive shafts proper to prevent driveline vibration. And once again, that's also held in with all brand new gray tin hardware. The undercarriage of this particular Jeep is probably one of the most rust-free Jeeps I've seen. Take a peek in there, you see that nice shiny new caliper, new rotors, pads, and full brake flush. So, literally everything on the front of this Jeep, underwise, is all brand spanking new. Let's take a look how clean the wheel wells and everything are. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. The transfer case drop down right here with all new hardware. But just look at this undercarriage. I mean, the floor pan literally looks brand new. Even all the bolts from doing the services are also checked as well by the second tech. Service the transmission. We don't stop with servicing it. This gets sanded down, the transmission as well, and as you see, gets a fresh coat of paint to look great. I know we spend a lot of time on this stuff, and that's just what we do. In the back, I know it's getting dark in here, guys, but new coils, new shocks, new sway bar end links as well. Here's the sway bar. It's got new bushings. When we remove it, we also replace the hardware. Once again, gray tin. I know it's getting dark, but it marks again to indicate it's been double checked by the second tech. But perhaps one of the most impressive things on this entire Jeep, I mean, look at that undercarriage. It is brand new looking. The smoothness of the actual metal, you just don't find them like this. This thing was absolutely garage kept its entire life. So in the back of the Jeep, of course, new coils, new shocks. We also installed a new diff cover. That does not come with hardware. They want you to reuse the original hardware, which obviously, once again, we don't. Torque bolts right there. And look at that floor pan center frame above the transfer case. I mean, the floor pan is brand new. From the looks of things, looks like new drums in the rear as well. So this section of these frames right here just get really, really funky. And then just look how smooth this metal is. It's really, really incredible. I see so many of these Jeeps as the owner of the company, and I have to pass on 10 to 15 just to get one. Give me 1 second here. So, you know, a lot of people always ask us, man, where do you find these Jeeps? And there's no secret spot where they are. It's a lot of hunting. That's what it is. We're not finding them, we're hunting them. And that's what you have to do. We're losing some light here, so I'm going to try to speed things up. But I really just can't get over this paint. It's just, you really have to see this Jeep in person. Inside, it's all original, super clean. The only upgrade is the head unit with a USB, which is a must in these. Both keys, books, manuals. Carpets are clean, non-smoker. I'm the owner of this company. I don't smoke. I don't buy vehicles that have been smoked in. And that's unfortunate because I have to pass on a lot of nice Jeeps minus the terrible odor. Back seats, beautiful condition. I know we're losing light here, so it's getting noisy, which is what they call the grain in the video with low light situations. Beautiful Jeep, guys. And I can tell you right now, I do all these videos off the top of my head. I don't bring out cheat sheets. I just know our Jeeps, even though we have 20 being built at any given time between ours and clients. There's gonna be a lot of other things done on this Jeep, but make sure to check our listings out. All that's gonna be on our listing, davisautosports.com. I actually got to head out of here, but I will do a quick video around the block for you guys. Oh, speaking of things that were done, we have a brand new battery in here as well. Cigarette lighter, never been used. And that's not my indication of it not being a smoker's vehicle. No burns, no odors, no nothing. For you guys that are looking for maybe something a little bit more, got a beautiful Rubicon right there. Got a really nice Brabus G63 Mercedes as well. There's a LS 6.0 Cherokee. Some customers' vehicles here that we're working on as well. I actually have something to attend this evening, so we'll make this super quick. But this Jeep drives absolutely perfect, as all the suspension is brand new, steering's brand new, tires are new, brakes are new. Engine sounds phenomenal. No driveline noise, no driveline vibrations at all. With all the upgraded front steering between the tie rod bar, which is heavy duty, the tie rod ends, the track bar, the drag link bar, the steering stabilizer, you don't get any of the characteristics that some of the Jeeps are known for when you lift them. And we get people that call us all the time. I have bump steer, I have death wobble, I have this, and they send me a picture of their setup, and it's pretty obvious why a lot of those people have them. You'll get them for different reasons, but you know, it's like you got a 3-inch lift on there with coils and shocks and nothing else done to it. So hate for a short drivability portion, guys, but this Jeep is literally brand new. It drives flawlessly. This Jeep is not going to last long, I promise you this. If you're watching this video on YouTube, we just host our videos on YouTube. This is not the full advertisement. Go to our website, davisautosports.com. Thank you for viewing.